Hello everyone, my name is Abner Perez. I'm working with my partner Luis Torres on the topic of language interference. I would like to add some other information to what Luis already said about interference itself before going into the different types of interferences. Now, according to the research that I did, a lot of researchers believe that the first language has an active interference in second language acquisition. If the structures of first and second language were different, then learners would have a more difficult time in second language pronunciation because they would be unfamiliar with those phonological rules. These would also apply to writing. Now, there are also two main assumptions that say that how different the language is will determine the degree of difficulty or simplicity in acquiring that language. Meaning that if those two languages are different, then it will be a lot more difficult for learners, or if those two languages were similar, then it will be a lot simpler for them to learn. Also, when learners of a second language want to write or speak in the target language, they usually tend to rely on their first language structures. Now, if those structures are different, like I mentioned before, then a lot of errors will occur in second language, thus indicating an interference of first language on second language. Interference are those errors that we can trace back to the first language while learners are using that second language. Now, I'm going to talk about the different types of interferences. There are 5 in the book. I'm going to discuss 3, and Luis, my partner, is going to touch on the other 2. The first one that I'm going to be talking about is same form and meaning but different distribution. Now, you have there 2 languages, Spanish and English, and you have some phrases in Spanish and English. La paloma blanca, las palomas blancas. And in English, you have the white dove and the white doves. Now, the form S has a different distribution in Spanish than in English. As you can see, in that second set in Spanish, S is added to the article. It can also be added to a noun or a modifier to change and alter what it means. In English, the S is only used on nouns, as you can see, there in that example. The other type of interference is same meaning, different form and distribution. You have there Spanish agua, which means water, and in English the word water. You have there the same meaning, but it has a different form and distribution in the sense that the English word water may occur or may have a function as a noun, like an example, the glass of water. It can be also used as a verb in the example, in the water of the garden, or even as a modifier noun in the compound water meter. Now, in Spanish, the word agua will only function as a noun, thus limiting its distribution. So it has a different form and distribution. The final type of interference is similar form but different meaning. You have there 2 words that are very similar. They look and they sound alike, but they have a different meaning. In the first one, Spanish, in the Spanish word, you have asistir, which means to attend, and in English you have assist, that can mean help, or it could be used as a basketball term to an assist, when a person helps another person get a bucket. So those are the different types of interferences. Thank you for listening.